So let's talk about inclusion in terms of agency. So agency, about the control and say that you have in the decisions and experiences that you have in your life. And my research found that there were 3 different dimensions within this version of inclusion. So one was about social change, so those wider things that were changing in society and things that still needed to change and the impact that they had. The second was student agency. So this was about students having a voice and also having some choice. And the third one was school ethos and values and how that culture impacted what was happening in the school environment. What was interesting is that actually there were some differences among the people that I researched in terms of what they thought were the biggest issues. Teachers often talked about things like wider social change and how the system constraints meant that they couldn't be as inclusive as they wanted to be. Students, on the other hand, talked a lot more about their own agency and also about the cultures in their individual schools and felt that actually the changes needed to happen there. So one of the questions we need to ask ourselves then is that for inclusion to be improved, do we need to think about big systematic social changes? Or do we need to think more about the everyday actions that are happening in the classroom and in our schools? Is it about these macro changes or these micro changes? Or is it a combination of both? We need to think to ourselves, can teachers and students actually be change agents? Which means that they have the agency, so the control to actually make changes in schools and in classrooms? Or do we rely on that coming from a more policy-based level?